as well turn the heating off.
Good morning and welcome to Tuesday's chair yoga. Make sure that your chair's on something so it's non-slippy and that it's not going to fall apart. If your feet don't touch the floor, so they're kind of lifted, stick a block under your foot so that your feet are nice and relaxed. And sit up as straight as you can. Try not to let yourself slump down. So use the back of the chair, depending on the chair that you've got. This is a rubbish chair. I've got to get all my stuff back from my brother's. Now I'm allowed to go there. So we're going to think about our breathing, and we're going to do a square breath. You're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then carry on that square. Now, if 4 is too much and you find yourself gripping or tensing or squeezing, then just take it down to 3 seconds or 2 seconds, but keep it equal. So equal in, equal out, equal holding. So we're going to bring ourselves down, tuck our chin in, and we're breathing out first. And then we're breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's continue. So we're just going to take our arms up as high as we can to breathe in, and then breathing out through the mouth. Let's do 2 more of these. And our last one. And bring it back down. So we're going to take our thumb behind our head, and we're going to breathe in to look up to our elbow and breathe out to look down. but we don't want our elbow to come in. We want to keep the elbow pulling back. So we're breathing in to look up and breathing out to look down. We're going to do 3 on each side. And bring it back to centre. So let's change sides. Now remember, if you can't take your arm up, then you can just kind of look up and look down. So here we go again, breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, bringing it down. Bring the head back to centre. Take the arms down. Now, if you feel physically sick anytime doing those, please let me know. Phone me and let me know, and I'll talk to you about that. So we're going to do a diagonal forward bend. We're going to take one leg just out to the side and kind of turn ourselves out and drop that down so that you can see. Don't need to see my head, you need to see my legs. So you've got one foot facing forward, you've took out one foot to the other side. You're keeping that foot forward, you're turning this foot out. You're going to breathe out and reach forward. Now if you've got blood pressure problems, you want to keep that head in line so it's not going down. If you haven't got blood pressure problems or lower back problems, you can let yourself drop. I'm going to stay here in case anybody has, and they'll follow me. So we're going to breathe in and lift ourselves back up. We're going to stay in this position, do the same thing on, say, just swapping sides. So here we go again. Breathe out, move forward. You'll feel the stretch coming diagonally across the back. Especially if you've got lower back problems, be very careful with this. You've got slip disc, you shouldn't really be here. And we're going to bring ourselves back up. So bringing our foot back in. Bringing ourselves back to centre. Let's take our foot to the other side. So we're taking the foot out, the one knee stays there. We're turning our hips round as much as we can to go that side. Try not to let that knee fall in, keep it pushing back. Breathe out. And remember, if you need to put that block underneath your foot, think about keeping that back as straight as possible. Tucking the chin in. Let yourself drop if you can, if you want to. If you've got no problems with going down. That's it. And then using your hands on your legs, breathe in to push back up. I'm going to go one more, so I'm going all the way down. This time remember, stay where you want to. Breathe out. Bring the hands back to the legs and push up. Let's bring that foot back in, bring our hips back, and we're going to take it to the other side. So again, taking the leg out, turning the hips round. You're going to place your hand on your head. I'm going to pull that back up. Place your hand on your head so it's in line with your knee, the other hand on your back. And you're going to breathe in, lift the elbow up, but it's not, the head's not going back, it's the elbow that's lifting. The head stays exactly where it is. And you'll feel a stretch diagonally through the front. And bring it down. So we're going to stay here. Now you can move the hand from the back and reach it towards the floor, breathing in, but that'll make you go back a little further. So be aware. And bringing it back. Take the hand off, bring the feet round, let's change sides. Breathing in, reaching the elbow up. There should be no strain on the neck. We're not moving the neck, we're keeping it in the same position it was. We're just moving from the back and from the front. And bringing it down. And let's do one more. And bring it back up. Bring the legs back in. So we're going to take it into our cat and cow. So starting from here, start with our right little finger at the end. We're going to do 4, changing fingers each time. Push out, curl the hips under, push forward with the hands. Push from the shoulders. Breathe in. If you can't bring the 2 fingers together, turn them round. Roll the hips back. Pull the shoulder blades together. As we're breathing out, we're changing that little finger. We're breathing in. Let's do 2 more. Change that little finger. The last one. And bring it back in. So from here, we're going to bring the arms out to the side and we're just moving the fingers up and down. As if we're pushing out to the side. And then we're going to turn one thumb up and one thumb down. One thumb up, one thumb down, one thumb up, one thumb down. So we're going up and down, moving them shoulders. Now when we're keeping one up, one down, we're going to bring it in to cow face. It doesn't have to touch. It can just go to there and there. And then we're bringing it out, we're changing, and we're bringing it back in. We're taking it out, we're changing, we're bringing in. And let's do one more on each side. And bring it down. Lovely. So we're going to spin around. So we're going to do like circling the hips, but because we're sitting on the chair, we can't move our bums. We have to move our upper body. So you're bringing your hands forward, or your body forward. So if I do it sideways with my chair. So sitting near the back, you're coming forward, you're moving round to the side, then you're curling your back along your chair and out, and then you're flattening the back at this point. Curling, you curl the head in if you want. Bring it back to flat. Curling. And then from here, we're going to take it in the opposite direction. Bring it back to here. Bring yourself back up. So you should feel quite nice and kind of relaxing as you're doing that. It should be quite dizzy-ish kind of, but nice dizzy. So we're going to take it down into our pelvic floor. We're turning our palms over 5 times, 10 seconds. So imagine that we're about to stop ourselves from breaking wind. We're about to stop ourselves from having a wee. We want to pull that belly in and we're holding. We can bring the block in if you want to, remember, and hold the block, and that will help to encourage the inner thighs to work. So, at the back, at the front, at the belly, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then relax, and relax everything. So here we go again, at the back, at the front, at the belly, and hold. Keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Here we go again, at the back, at the front, at the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. At the back, at the front, at the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. And the most important, it's always important to relax the muscle, just as important as holding it. Last one. At the back, at the front, at the belly. 1, 2, and relax. Lovely. Bring that down. Put me belly away now. So, we're going to march. I'm going to, again, drop it down because you don't see my head. You see my legs. If you bring yourself away from right at the back of your chair, a little bit forward. That gives you a chance to lift up. And that way you'll notice if you start to go down so that you can keep yourself up straight. You're again pulling in your stomach muscles, pulling the pelvic floor, and you're going to lift your feet off the floor. Keep pulling in. If it drops, as soon as you lift your leg, it all comes out. As soon as you can breathe out, pull it all back in again. Now you can keep it here, or you can take it a little bit further by lifting the leg clean off the chair and pointing and flexing. Now, as soon as you lift, your back kind of comes in, then hold your leg, pull your shoulders back, point and flex. So you can hold it if you need to, but this, with the pulling in of the stomach muscles, is working the pelvic floor a little bit harder. I think that's 10-ish, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. And relax. Give yourself a little shake. So I'm going to bring it down to the feet. If you grab your block, oh, sorry, I've missed out our hips, sorry, it's taken no notice. Let's go back up to our legs. Bring the flex the foot, bring it up. So the first thing we're doing is keeping that foot flexed, but just letting that knee just wobble. So that we're working the knee, we're working the thigh, especially the inside thigh, or stretching it. And then we're going to lift it and take it off. And let's try the other side. So flex it, bring it up, give it a little drop. So with this, we're stretching the inside thigh, but working the outside thigh. Working them hips. You'll feel it also through that bum, the outside of the thighs. But it's mainly the knee, the ankle that we're getting to work here. And then we're going to bring it off. So let's change sides, bring it back up. Now if you move forward, and then you can place your hand on your knee, you can let your head rest in your hand if you want. If you want to, you can do the thing where you pull your toes and give them a little whip up. Now, if you can, you're going to see if you can get your fingers in between each toe, like a toe separator. And then you're going to try and open your fingers. They won't go very far, but it'll kind of stretch a little bit for your toes as well. So it kind of gives your toes a little stretch out, but you're trying to open your fingers. And then bring the fingers out. Now you're going to rub all the backs of your toes. So you're grabbing hold of your toes and you're giving your toes a nice little rub. Don't forget the middle one. And then squeeze your foot, all of your foot, squeezing it and release it. Then you're going to squeeze your calf. And then you're going to squeeze your thighs. So all the fatty bits, no bony bits. And just give them a squeeze any way you want to. Again, all it's doing is that we're just encouraging blood flow into the legs. And then let's take it down. So again, before we take the other foot up, close your eyes. How do they feel? Is there any difference? Or are they exactly the same? The temperature, the weight. Not just through the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips. And then let's just try the next side. Okay, we're bringing the other foot up. We're letting the elbow come down, letting the head rest, pinching and pulling the toes. And as we're doing this, how does it feel? Now we know what it feels like on our other leg. How does this feel as we start to do this on our feet? Does it feel as if our feet are going, yes, my time? Or does it just feel like there's nothing? Right. And it doesn't matter how it feels, as long as you're noticing that there's no difference. So again, we're going to use our fingers as spacers for our toes. And we're going to try and open our fingers. And then let's have a rub of each of the toes. While we're here as well, we can always look to see if there's anything that we need to pay attention to on our feet. Any build-up of hard skin. And we can think, oh, I could work on that. I could get a foot massage or a foot thing. Usually Poundland do these nice little booties that you put on your feet. And they give your feet, there's one you've got to be very wary of. It's called a peel off. And it takes a week for your feet to peel. And it does take all the hard skin off your feet. It's absolutely beautiful. As long as it's not summer and you're wearing sandals. Otherwise you'll look like you've got something wrong with your foot because your whole foot peels. But it's £1 from Poundland. But they're little booties that you put on and leave on for 25 minutes. And it gives your feet a lovely, you can get peppermints and cucumber, which make your feet feel all sparkly and fizzy. And then you can get ones that are coconut milk that make them all soft. So there's loads there to give yourself a pamper. So let's squeeze the foot. And then squeeze the calf muscle. And this kind of squeezing and rubbing, it's similar to when you're trying to peel an orange and you kind of rub the orange to free the skin slightly from the sinew. Similar kind of thing that you're doing with this. You're rubbing and trying to sort of free up a bit of sinew so that you'll get a bit more flexibility. And then let's bring it in, just squeezing. It doesn't have to be a national massage. You don't need a diploma in massage to give your legs a little play with. And now this one, working up here by our calf, by our thigh, also this is where our cellulite is. And cellulite just tends to be that the skin, instead of being nice and flat, it kind of goes a bit wiggly as we get older. And then the fat kind of pokes through. And that's kind of cellulite. So again, if you can massage, it's like when you've got a quilt cover and it's all a bit bumpy. If you kind of shake it out a bit, the same sort of thing with the cellulite. It helps it settle down. So let's bring that foot back down. And again, just have a think how everything's feeling. So we're going to take it into an eagle leg. We're going to bring the leg over the top. And now because we're sitting down, we can come up onto our tiptoe and see if we can scoot that ankle behind, the foot behind the ankle. And just holding it there. Now try and take the legs in opposite directions. So you're going to try and move them and open them. So the same way we were trying to open our fingers a minute ago, now you're going to try and open your legs. But they won't go anywhere because they're knotted together. But you're trying to push them out. So you're trying to push the right leg to the right and the left leg to the left. And you'll feel it pulling and working again into the joints of the ankles, into the knees, into the hips. And then we're going to undo the foot. and undo the leg. Now, if you can't get that ankle in, don't worry. But because you're sitting down, you may be able to kind of use your hand. Now, if it feels, no, if I do that, my knee's going to pop, my hip's going to pop, then don't. Don't pop your hip, don't pop your knee. So just holding it where it is, and even if it's just there, you can still do the same thing. Imagine trying to open the legs in opposite direction. And let's undo. And let's try one more time each side. If you're up on your tiptoes, see if you can bring your heel down onto the floor. And let's uncurl. And the last one. Just opening the legs. See if you can drop that heel. Notice what happens and where you feel it when you drop the heel. So it's not just dropping the heel, but does anything change? And then undo, bring it out, give your legs a little shake. So we're bringing in our block, hope you can see. Let me move my chair back a little, and you can see. So with your foot on the block, you're again on the edge of your chair and you're pushing. With your toes just on there, you can come up onto the tiptoe and then push the heel towards the floor. Up onto the tiptoe, then down onto the floor. And then we're going to change sides and do the other side, the other foot. So the edge of the foot on, up onto the tiptoes, pushing the heel down, up and down. And then bringing it down. So bringing ourselves up into our standing position, making sure that our knees are in line with our hips. We can have our hands here, here, in line with our shoulders or above our head. We're going to breathe in and come up. We breathe out to come down, but we're going to hold it. So we're going to half stand up and then do a breath in, breath out. I'll go sideways so you can kind of see. So if your bum's on the edge, you're going to breathe in, hold it here. Breathe out. Then breathe in, stand up. Breathe out, sit down, but before you go, stay here. Breathe in. And on the next breath out, sit down. You're trying to keep that back nice and straight. So we're going to do 5 more up, 4 more down. Here we go. Lift. Continue that breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again. That's 2. 3. 4. We're staying up this time. Reach back a little bit. And then breathe out to bring yourself back to straight. Lovely. So let's turn our chair round. And we're going to do, remember you don't need it if you don't want to, but we're going to do our aerobics, chair aerobics. So we're working our hips. I'll turn backwards. We're taking the foot out to the side, making sure it's facing forward so that we're working here and again stretching here. We're taking it back, we're taking it backwards so that we're working that bum muscle, stretching the front of the thigh. Bringing it back. Pushing our hips in towards the chair, rolling our shoulders back. Taking our head back, but make sure you're controlling it. If you want to pull and work them neck muscles, don't let the head just roll back. And then push back up. Let's take it to the other side, out. And in. And back. And in. And roll backwards. I'm bringing it this way so I can see. And bringing it back up. So here we go again. Out. And in. And back. And in. And roll backwards. So bringing it back up. Last one. Out. And in. Back. And in. Pushing backwards. Lovely. Feel that stretch right through the tummy, right through the front. So again, coming back up, that's stretching all through that lower, that stomach muscle. If we're sitting at a computer, hopefully that helps. We're going to take it into down dog. Now your hands can be here, they can be on the back of your chair, or you can turn your chair the other way round and have your hands on the seat. It depends on how far you can go down. So I'm going to have my hands on the seat. You're pushing with your fingertips, so it's the fingertips pushing and it's the knuckles of the hands that are pushing. The outside edge are pushing, and you're trying to rip up the chair so that you'll feel them muscles working. The elbows should come to face forward. So whenever you need to bend them, they go backwards. They shouldn't be facing so that they're pointing out to the side. And if you try to imagine ripping up that chair, then you'll find that they'll come forwards. We're going to step back and you're pushing backwards. Now you're pushing your armpits towards your feet. So really think about pushing your armpits down towards your feet. And you'll feel that stretch through that lateral muscle, that big muscle through the back. You'll feel the stretching right through the arms. If you need to, you can bend the knees. If you find that your spine is bending or your body wants to bend the knees, it'll want to bend the knees. If you've got your knees bent, you could maybe try one straight, one knee at a time, but keeping the back where it is. So we're going to come forward. Now you're going to see if you can come forward onto your tiptoes, roll your shoulders back, squeeze your stomach muscles into a plank position. With the elbow still facing forward, and we're going to push back into child. Into down dog, sorry. Yeah. So again, squeezing, pushing with the hands, pushing the armpits towards our feet, straightening our back, bending the knees if we need to. Let's come forward. The heels might lift off. We push the heels away. We squeeze the stomach, squeeze the legs together. Tuck the chin in, push the shoulders back, push with the hands into plank. Beautiful. And push back. So we're going to bend the knees, look forward and step in. Bend the knees, lift the head, stretch the arms. Remember, they don't have to go very high. Just think about what your shoulder wants to do. Bringing it down. So we're going to do a bit of functionality. We're going to use the back of our chair. And we're going to do a kind of a walk forward, but we're not going to walk anywhere. So I'm turning my chair this way. You don't need it, you don't want the chair, you don't have to have it, but it's just there for you. Now, whichever hand's on the chair, it's that leg you're going to lift, and you're going to have this arm up. So you're going to bring the arm down, and as you lift the arm, you're lifting the leg. You're bringing the foot down, bringing the weight, and then moving onto the back foot, lifting up onto the toes. So all the weight moves onto the front. We move back. We bring the arm and the foot up. Flex the foot. Try and bring the knee in line. Place it down. Bring that foot, that arm back. Come back and onto your tiptoes as if you're about to move off. But then we're moving back. We're flexing. We're lifting the elbow up. We're stepping it down. We're moving forward. Let's take it back. Lift. Flexing the foot. Stepping. Reaching back. Let's do one more. So this is a great one for getting us learning to walk and moving our weight from this foot to this foot. Using them arms as well. Bring it back. So let's change sides. I'm going to do it sideways. So the hand that's on the chair, it's that one that's lifting. We're lifting the foot, bending the elbow, flexing the knee. Keep it in line. Then you're bringing the foot down. Heel goes down. Move the weight forward. Reach the arm back onto the tiptoe at the back. Bring it back. Bring the knee up. Squeeze it up, back nice and straight. Take it down, heel down, move the weight forward. Roll back. Knee comes up. I'll do it sideways this way actually. Right here. Step it down. Move it forward. Bring it back. So, step it forward. Bring it back. Last one. And with this is how we kind of run, but we'll get into the other version. So with the other version to run, you're lifting up, you're stepping out, you're stepping it down, you're coming forward. You're lifting it up, you're stepping it out, you're coming forward. Lift it up, step it out, move forward. You can lift that back foot off if you feel you can. Step it back, kick it out, step it forward. Okay, let's try the other side. So, lifting up, kicking out, stepping forward. Lifting up, kicking out, stepping forward. Lifting up, kicking out, stepping forward. Let's do one more. Lifting up, stepping out, moving forward. Well, that one should be here. Bringing it back down. So it all becomes one movement. And if you were out in the park, you could try. I mean, you may look a bit weird, but you know what you're doing. Take no notice. At least no one will mug you, because they'll think, oh, if she's doing that, she's a proper nut. I'm not going near her. So it might work. But there, stepping out, lifting up, bringing it in, stepping out, moving up, bringing it in. So it all becomes one. It's a slow run, but it's the exact same movement that runners move, and where you're moving your weight from one foot to the other foot, and it's always good for help with balance. So we're going to bring ourselves back down onto our chair. Oh, let me bring that back up a little. Oh, I brought that up, but I forgot to change the camera. Wrong camera. So from here, you're going to bring your foot up onto your lap again, back into figure 4. Now, because we've been working the front of the thigh, front of the bone, when we're doing them steps, so we're pulling back. Now, you may find that you start to get pain, shin pain down the front of the shin. So using your finger, find the outside edge of the bone, and you're just working it down. So you're running it down all the way to the foot. So you're pulling from the knee on the outside edge of the bone, and you're running it down and then just flicking off at the foot. Running it down either side of the bone, flick it off. And we'll do one more. And bring it down. So let's try the other side. So bringing it up. So you're relaxing your foot. You're using 2 fingers, and it's finding either side of the bone. So not on the bone, either side. Start from the top of the knee joint. Run the fingers down the side of the bone shaft. And then just kind of flick it out. Down the side of the bone shaft. Flick it out. Last one. And bring it down. With your knees just at the edge of your bed, so sit at the edge of your chair, and just bring that down a bit so you can see my knees. With your knees just at the edge of your chair, just let your knees go side to side. And then bringing it back to centre. Bring your hands so that you've got one hand on top, one hand behind, and it's coming around and kind of touching around your shoulder blades. If you can grab hold of your shoulder blade, great, but if you can't, then just hold on and kind of push the fingers in because they're going to kind of help to move. And all you're going to do is go side to side. And then we're going to take the arms out. And we're going to bring the opposite hand on top. Now imagine, just close your eyes and imagine someone that you love, someone you haven't seen for a long time, giving you a hug. Feel that person, see that person, smell that person. And then stretch out. Stretch the arms back. Send out love to whoever you feel you need to. Who you haven't seen, you want to send out some love, send it out. And then bring it back. Turn your palms over, sit yourself back into your chair, let yourself relax. Again, you don't want to just drop down. If you want to lean back into your chair, you can. If you want to lie on the floor, if you want to lie in the settee, you can. Just let your body relax. Think about breathing in, holding the breath, breathing out, holding the breath, and continue in this square or equal breath, choosing your own time, your own speed, making sure that you're not gripping your jaw, screwing up your face, tightening your eyes. You haven't got your shoulders pulled up there, relaxed. You're not gripping your fingers together. The hands are relaxed. You're not tightening your stomach muscles. They're relaxed. You're not tightening your pelvic floor. That's relaxed. You're not squeezing your legs together. They're relaxed. But you're just not letting yourself drop down. You're staying. You're using them back muscles to pull you and hold you nice and straight. But they're not tight. They're just working. Thoughts pull you away. Thought, a smell, a sound. Just label it. Acknowledge it. And try not to dwell on it. And something you've got to do, just try and make a mental note that you'll come back to that. how the breathing feels at different points. How your body feels as you breathe in. How your body feels as it's holding all that air in the body. As your body feels as you're breathing out. And how your body feels as you're holding in the breath out. Any tension, any emotional differences. There's no right or wrong way, there's no right or wrong time, there's only yours. The more you practice, the easier things get. Listen to your body and only do what it allows. Never put yourself under any stress, any strain. It's only breathing. And as long as you breathe, you're doing it right. We're going to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We're going to move our ankles and our knees, our elbows. We can move our shoulders and our hips, and then our head roll side to side. We can lift our arms up and have a good stretch, and then breathe out. And let's have another big one. Reach one hand and then the other. And out. And let's do one more. Bring our hands together and breathe out. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Any problems, anything that didn't feel right, please let me know. I'm just going to turn everything off. So, goodbye.